So this is Dan of Vagabond Awake, and I feel lucky today to have Kelly on the channel because he's in one of the spots in the world that a lot of people are looking at moving to, and he lives there now. And welcome to the channel, Kelly.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm honored to be on your channel. I really am. Yeah.
Well, that's great. So Kelly, where are you from, and where are you sitting right now in the world?
Well, I'm from northern Minnesota in USA. And I'm sitting in 𝗂𝐎𝐒 𝐎� Cambodia.
Nice,
Yeah.
very nice. So
where the only white under my feet is sand.
okay. So why did you decide to leave the US and move to Cambodia?
A rat race. You know, I just wanted to relax, really like it over here, financial reason, really just to get away from the rat race and relax. I don't have to work anymore if I don't want to. Financial, for one thing, I can live a lot better here on my retirement. I mean, I could still manage there, but I would be managing here. I'm actually like really enjoying life and living. I love the weather. The people are just absolutely fantastic. You know, just the spirituality that I feel everywhere here, which, you know, I don't other places. That's kind of like
that's great. It's written all over your face. So how did you pick Cambodia? You mentioned the spirituality, the people, the peacefulness, and the cost of living. Anything else come to mind?
Well, you know, I mean, I was originally going to retire in Thailand. I spent a lot of time in Thailand. Which is, you know, a really nice place also. But when I started getting closer to my actual retirement time and I started doing a little bit more research, I just didn't like the immigration policies that they have. And Cambodia is the easiest here in Southeast Asia that I know of. It's just so simple.
Great. Hopefully we'll get to more details on that. So people are always curious, like, what does it cost to live somewhere like Cambodia? And you're in a relationship now, which we'll get to later too, and so you have more mouths you're feeding. But when you first got there, give us a number per month average, and then take us through your item by item on the new numbers.
Like when I was single, I was paying $350 rent for a 1-bedroom. It's a very nice place up on the 4th floor. Had swimming pool. Elevator, very beautiful view of the 𝗂𝐎𝐒 𝐼 River, and I was paying about $60 a month in utilities, so that was like $410 for that. And my food, I was eating a lot of, you know, still Western food and all that. I was trying to, you know, get some more Khmer food. But I'd spend about $240 a month at the grocery stores, and then maybe at about another $60 for ordering a pizza every once in a while. Yeah, so that came up to about $300. And you know, household things, $32. Beverages, believe it or not, was only $53.
Okay.
Yeah, and meds. I have Crohn's disease, so sometimes I get sick and I have to get some meds. And but that's not all the time though. That would have been $50 for the month that I'm reciting from. And gas, maybe $10 for my motorbike, but $18 for a big tank of propane. But that's not monthly either. That's, you know, that lasts me 3 months there, 4 months, whatever. So that came up to about $800 and $13, $820, whatever, when I was single.
Okay. And you're what are you running now that you and we'll ask you about dating and stuff, but
Sure.
What's the costing you now?
Well, now I'm renting a 2-bedroom apartment, very beautiful. It's nice, nice scenery, everything. We don't have a swimming pool, but a big courtyard that's fenced in for the kids. I have my girlfriend's got an 8-year-old, so and I spend about $50 a month on utilities, mostly electricity. $2.50 a month for water, and that's per adult, so $5 a month. About $205 I spend at the Western stores for groceries, and maybe another $120 or more, you know, at the wet markets, because it's kind of hard. Vanna goes to the wet market. I just give her some money and she'll go to the wet market almost every day, but every third day she'll go, I need a little bit more money. She buys a lot of good stuff. And then going out or whatever, we don't go out too much. So that's about $355 for groceries. Households about 20. Beverages are still up there about 50. And gas is about 28 because, well, now we got 2 motorbikes plus, the propane tank, and just miscellaneous is $20. So that's actually only $775 that comes up to. But that's just the basic necessities. That's no extras that you would probably put in.
So a little more when you're single, it sounds like, than in a relationship.
Yeah, well, it's because I was paying a little bit more for rent. I had a very nice place. It was right on the river. It was location. I think it was brand new. It was like 5 years old. Actually, this place here is only about 5-6 years old, so they're in newer places. So I think that's kind of a big difference there. That's $60 a difference there. So it kind of evens out. I think it's about the same if I were to if we factor in the rent.
That's interesting because there's as you may know, among expats, some expats say that when they go overseas single and they're dating, it costs more because they're out more, drinking more. But when they get in a relationship with a local that can go to the grocery store and know where to shop and how to live, if you will, for a lower amount, they actually can save money. And so there's that's kind of goes towards that argument. So tell us, did you meet online or did you meet in person? How did you meet? Because you went over single, right?
Yeah, I was here for about 2 years before I met Vanna. I wasn't looking for a girlfriend. I always told everybody there's a girl looking for me. But about 3 or 4 of us YouTubers, we get together about every 4 months and have a meet and greet, and we just blast it out to everybody on YouTube and on Facebook and all that. And we'll get 30, 40 people there. And I was talking to somebody, and somebody wanted to talk to me, and they said, "Hey, well, sit down." And the only chair was right in between us, so I sat down. I'm talking to this guy that knew me, and Vanna just happened to be there with her sister. She was invited. Well, everybody was invited. And then when that one guy left, I just started talking, and boom. No, it just happened. It was like, oh, wow,
Very cool. Very cool.
So I put on the charm then,
Oh, yeah, that Kelly, Minnesotan charm. Would you say, what's your overall feeling about dating overseas? What are some of the differences between dating in the U.S. Or in finding relationships versus Cambodia there? And by the way, you're in Siem Reap, Cambodia, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is where I would live if I've been to Cambodia also, toured all around, and
yeah,
it's where I would live. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's about 135,000 people living here in the town. So it's a difference between you gotta understand tradition too. It's you gotta take it slow. You gotta be easy. You gotta be of course a charm or whatever. But I think the big difference is you take it slow. You show a lot of respect. Yeah, you show a lot of respect, and I don't know what else to say on that one.
So what are some of the things you like to do there for fun?
Well, I do enjoy my hobby, which is making videos, and that encompasses some of the things that I do to have fun. I like to travel around. I'd like to be able to travel a little bit more out of Cambodia and stuff. I'm working on that. But just taking a 2-3 day trip somewhere, I enjoy doing that. Or just taking a motorbike out for 2-3 hours out in the country through the villages, meeting the people out in the villages, taking photos and video. I entertain about maybe twice a month. So I'll have usually other vloggers or something will come over. Sometimes some Khmer friends. So we'll have dinner and a couple of beverages of our choice. But that's all. I'm a simple man. It doesn't take much.
What about safety? Do you feel safe living there, Kelly?
I get a lot of questions about that, and I'm going to have to say I feel safer here than anywhere than I've been in the world. I've been quite a few, not as many places as you, but I've been to a few places. But I feel safer here than anywhere in the United States. I feel safer here than like when I spent some time down in southern Mexico. A little side note there, I stayed 1 block up from where you guys are at in Puerto Escondido.
Okay.
What a lovely town. But no, I mean, I feel really safe. I mean, you got to watch out in what you're doing. Yeah, I don't have no problems in my neighborhood here walking at midnight. Nothing's going to happen. Now maybe if I was down in the pub street area, at 2 o'clock in the morning, drunk off my butt, $100 bills hanging on my pocket, yeah, I'm going to get in trouble. But just generally speaking, absolutely not. I feel very, very safe here.
If you're going to describe how it feels different just on a day-to-day life, having moved overseas, like what feels different about it? How does it feel?
If you'd like my free ebook about how I fired my boss and traveled the world for 17 years and how I pay for things, come to Vagabond Buddha and grab the free ebook.
First of all, the people are really nice. They're very accommodating and they want to get to know you. They always ask, where are you from? And I'm not just talking about the person that's trying to sell you a t-shirt. I mean, once you start getting to know your neighbors and the locals, the Khmer locals, they're just a different caliber, I think, of people, very sincere too in the way that they present themselves. Spirituality, the feeling of you feel it. I feel it all around the place. I mean, there's spirituality back in the States where I come from, but it's just of a different caliber. And I would say the big difference is per capita. I think there's more people that are very religious or very spiritual here as opposed to maybe some other countries. I could be wrong, but that is my observation.
What are you doing about health insurance? Do you have health insurance? Do you pay as you go? What are you doing with that?
I pay as I go. Yeah. I mean, at my age, it's going to be very expensive. Any past, your past record, any ailments that you have, it's just going to make it more and more. I've heard good stories about it, and I've also known specifically some good friends of mine, more than 4 or 5, that have had horror stories with it. So, I mean, not saying that it happened to you, but I'm just saying that I have a separate fund, and I don't touch that at all, and it's getting interest. So hey, and if I get really sick, like I did last year, if what I have in that account, if that doesn't help me, probably nothing will. So
other expats there, and you've been there for a time. By the way, how long have you been there?
2.5 years now.
From discussions and your own experience, do you think you would fly to Bangkok or Malaysia or somewhere if you needed some certain kind of treatment, or would you stay there in Cambodia?
Well, it depends on what it is. If I needed like open heart surgery, yeah, I'd go to Bangkok. But like last year, I got really sick with my Crohn's disease. Long story. Check out the video. Sorry.
Okay.
I understand.
Yeah.
No, but I spent 3 days in the hospital. I had a private room. I had IV drips, 5 shots of morphine. I had 2 sonograms. I had a CAT scan, ambulance to and from the CAT scan, all my meds, and all of that. Okay, and then my meds when I left the hospital, plus a case of Ensure because I haven't been eating my stomach, and all that came to $1,200.
Wow, that's insane. That's great, man.
Yeah, it is. So insurance, and just recently I went and had another CAT scan of my chest because my doctor in the United States wanted, I wasn't going to stick around 3 months to wait for that one, which, by the way, I could go to the hospital here and I say, I'd like a CAT scan of my chest. And they go, would you like to do that today? Try doing that in the United States. But, yeah. And first they charged me, they were going to charge me one price. And I said, well, no, I had it last. I live here though. Oh, we got a different price. But they quoted me $250 for a CAT scan of my chest. And after everything was said and done, it cost me $233 or $223. Yeah. So
you have some emergency savings. That's a really good way to go if you're not.
Yeah.
if you don't have insurance. You're mentioning your channel, and that's one of the reasons that I invited you on here. I've watched some of your videos. It's very good. Tell us the name of your channel. Of course, I'll put a link below. I'll put a link on screen, and tell us what it is you like to talk about on your channel.
Okay, yeah. My channel is called Autumn in Asia. I'm Autumn, and this is Asia. And actually, one reason why I picked that name is because it's not like, Kelly in Cambodia or something. Then I just have to stick with Cambodia. Now this way, anywhere in Asia, I can make videos. And I do like making videos, travel videos around wherever I go. And then just like I've been doing a lot of videos about how it's like to live here and do's and don'ts and things like that. Sometimes just going out in the villages. I like to do a lot of off-roading, not motobiking off-roading, but I'll use my scooter and go out slowly and just see the most beautiful countryside I've seen in my lifetime. So that's what I make videos of.
Yeah, you make a lot of videos too that help expats with information about how to move there and all sorts of things. In fact, I'm going to put a link below to a video that you want to tell them what that's about, so you can tease some people over there. The video that we're going to put a link to.
Well, yeah, that was like 5 tips to retirement. It's a pre-planning tip type before you come, and so I get into 5 different things that I think was important in the video, and that's
great.
Things to do and mindsets to have before you come on over here. And I know you're going to ask me the question. I'll answer it right now. What's the most important thing to do if you're going to come to any country and live? Boots on the ground, buddy, not just a 2-week vacation, because you're going to like it. Yeah, because you're having a fun time. You're not at home working. You're going to love it for 2 weeks, but try it for 3 months. And you start questioning, you really do. You'll start questioning things. Well, I really miss this. I didn't like the way I did do this. So yeah, so just information like that.
Tell us about your visa situations. What does Cambodia offer that, other places are not?
Well, I mean, they don't have a retirement visa, okay? Okay, in my case, I came over here and I didn't get a tourist visa. You get an O or other visa. Sometimes it's called E. But just tell them at the airport or whatever. And then after about 2.5 weeks, you go to a travel agency and you say, hey, I'd like to extend. You can extend for 3, 6, or 12 months. You don't need a stack of papers this big. They don't care about your bank account or anything. It's super easy. It's like in and out in 10 minutes. And for a 1-year visa with multiple entry, also, it'll cost $280. And then they'll charge you like a $10 fee because they have to send all that information down to Phnom Penh. So this is cheaper than going down to Phnom Penh. If you're already in Phnom Penh, it's a different story. But here in Siem Reap, they say usually about 10 days later. It's always been like about 7, unless of course it's holiday. You get your passport back with your visa, and they say thank you. See you next year. It's that easy.
I know a lot of this stuff myself, but I like to hear it from people on the ground there, and so does my audience. Especially they get to hear your story. So thanks so much for coming on, Kelly. Autumn in Asia. We'll put a link on the screen and below. People go on over there and see what Kelly's up to. He's got a lot of great information on there, and I personally think he's entertaining. So thanks so much, Kelly.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you, Dan.
You take care.
Could you please help me with something? You've probably watched our guest star interviews on our guest star playlist. I interview people that have retired overseas. They share valuable information such as cost of living, safety concerns, finding love overseas, healthcare experiences, and money problems. If you'd like to share something that you have learned living overseas, please come to vagabondbuddha.com, click the More tab, click the Contact Me tab, and tell me about what you would like to share with my channel.